Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to another episode of DFS Zone, your source for daily fantasy sport lineup advice for the NFL, NBA, WNBA, and MLB. And before I continue on with the video, like always, I truly appreciate you guys dropping a like on the video. And if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do so down below. And do not forget to turn on the notifications. This way you do not miss any of my new uploads. With that being said, it is Sunday, June 17th, 2018. We have a two-game slate in the WNBA. I wanted to first tell all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hopefully you have a blessed and wonderful day with your families. And hopefully if you are playing some DFS today, you make some money as well. All right. Let's just dive in here, man, with this two-game slate. First game we have, and look, I'm going to change it up a little bit with this video today because I noticed last night I was crazy tired, man, doing my video. I felt like I dragged myself the entire time. I want to be as quick as I can. I want to get faster at this as well, try to get you the information, try to give you what I think are the best plays. I'm going to start narrowing down the best plays because before I actually even do a video, I actually have an idea of more or less which players I do like by just taking a quick look. But then after reviewing and looking over some numbers and you know, I'm trying to work on a system on building a formula of a spreadsheet just simply for myself, but I mean, of course I will share you know, obviously with my community some of the necessary steps, and some of them obviously is inputting some of this information that I discuss every day as far as statistics, team statistics, player statistics, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to try to be as quicker, you know, with just getting to whom I think are the best possible plays, because the slates are not that big. This way the videos are a little bit quicker. So hopefully this one will be a quick one today because it's two games. And hopefully from this point on in, I'll just go with that format. Instead of breaking down the entire game, I'm going to give you team stats. I'm going to give you some what players I think are the best plays, what are some of the DVP plays. Then, of course, I'm going to share with you what I think some of the games you should target, maybe some possible game stacks or team stacks. And, of course, I'll also share with you my FPPM plays, which is fantasy points per minute, which I always preach. That is an area that I definitely focus on as well. You know, I put a combination of all those things. All right, so let's get right into it. We got LA at Chicago. We have an implied totals of 163.5 is what I have thus far. We have LA favored by 11.5, and some of the numbers that you should definitely consider are obviously the ones I've been sharing. You got points per game. You got LA at is sixth with 80.4 points per game. Chicago is ninth at 78.4. You got offensive pace. Let's just stick with just LA right now. Offensive pace, LA is last in the league at 73.3. They're 10th in defensive pace at 83.1. They're last in rebounds at 28.6. Fifth in assists, 18.9. Second in steals, 7.7 steals per game. They're dead last in blocks, 1.7, so you're not going to target anybody there for that. PPF 2s, which is, if you have not been here before, it's your first time here, it's just the percentage points from 2-point range. 63 points per game pretty much come from there. That's second best in the league for the Spark. And obviously if they're doing that well from the floor, they're not doing that well from three. So they're 10th in the league in percentage points from three at 19.1. Then we got Chicago at 78.4 points per game. That's 9th in the league. Offensive pace, they 11th near the bottom. So pretty much these teams will be fairly matched, even though they got LA favored by 11. Offensive pace, 76.3, 11th in the league for Chicago. They're dead last in defensive pace at 83.6. Pretty much that's kind of even all the way through between both of them. They're both at about 83. They are 7th in rebounds at 34.3 per game. They're 7th in assists, 18.6 a game. 10th in steals, 6.2 a game. 7th in the blocks, 3.8 a game. PPF 2, they're 56.9 points. That's 7th in the league, and they're 6th in PPF 3s at 23.8 of their points coming from 3. And then what basically I'm going to share with you real quickly also what I think when you look at PPF threes, they're a little bit more better than obviously LA. So you definitely are targeting girls like Vandersloot, Quigley, DeShields, Gabby Williams, Faulkner. These are their top 5 field goal shooting players. So their top shooters are those 5 ladies. If you wanted to target Chicago in any way, those are the girls that you should be looking at. The biggest problem, obviously, for Chicago is their up front. Their front court is really, really weak, especially with Dolson out. So you definitely have a good player in Parker, but she's taking the brunt of the load there. When you think about LA, with them being the second best at PPF 2s, then their best field goal percentage girls are Gray, Sims, Carson, Parker, and Ogumake. So those are the girls that definitely you want to focus on there. So that's what helps with looking at this, is you get at least a gauge of who is the top rebounders or top assist plays, which teams are performing in what areas. And then what I do is, like I said before, is you basically just start narrowing things down and then putting them down separately on another sheet of paper. Let's go over the girls. I'm going to go strictly to the cruncher, and I'm just going to go over the girls. These are the girls that I'm targeting in this slate tonight. I obviously have a little bit more guards than I have forwards, as you can see. I didn't put any thumbs ups on the guards, but I'm going to tell you who are my best plays. Obviously, at the top here is Chelsea Gray. She plays for the Spark. Chelsea Gray is averaging 15 points per game, 5.8 assists, 1.6 steals. She's shooting at a 48.5% clip from the floor. She also has 3.4 rebounds. Sorry about that, I skipped that. She has already faced Chicago earlier, about a week ago, and she put up a 24 spot in 29 minutes. Not too bad. Definitely should have gotten a little bit more. She is at 7,600. You need 36, 37 from her, and she's averaging 29.7. She definitely has 45 plus upside. She is facing the 11th rank, which is near the bottom defensive team against guards. So she is in a favorable position, but she did not play as well the last game. 24 spot in 29 minutes. Definitely we should see a better game from her this time around. She is in play. She is capable of it. She has the upside. I don't know if I'm going to actually play her, but I think that she is a fine play here. All right, we're going to go straight down this list here that I have. I'm not going to go back to the other games. Diana Taurasi is in play as well. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me just stick to, let me stick to the girls that are in this game. Then we have Diana Taurasi. Excuse me, not Diana Taurasi. We have Courtney Vandersloot. Okay, Ms. Vandersloot, she's averaging at 7.1K. You need about 35. She's averaging 25, as you can see here. She's put up 11.8 points, 6 assists per game, 1.2 steals. She's shooting at 51.4% from the floor ever since coming back, and she's shooting excellent from 3 at 58.3. So she's starting to get her game going right now. She did face LA, and she put up a 44. She played Chicago. She played LA earlier. Let's see here. No, actually, the last time she's played LA. Sorry, I'm confusing my stats here. I'm looking here. I had looked back because she didn't have anything against LA this year. She didn't get to play. But the last 2 times she played LA, she really lit them up. 46 and 41 spots in 2 games last year, the last 2 games last year. So she definitely is capable of doing well against LA. We'll see if she's able to do that this time around. I'm still pondering her as far as a play here tomorrow, because Chicago is pretty bad. But she's a fine ball player. I would prefer to go with the younger girls. And if you ask me my opinion, I'd rather go with Diamond DeShields or Gabby Wilson, or both, or maybe even play one of the Laker girls here, one of the LA Spark girls here, with maybe Gabby Wilson, or even a Faulkner, who played very well against LA the last time out, as opposed to Vandersloot. But Vandersloot is in play. If you want to pay 7,100 and hope that she can get 35, let's take a quick look here. She has not quite hit 35, only 1 time. Okay, she did play against LA here this year. Only played 18 minutes, put 5 points, 3 assists for an 11.5 fantasy points. But like I said, going back to last year, the last 2 times she played them, she put a 46 and a 41 spot in the last 2 games last year, one in July and one in August. So she's more than capable of getting it done, and she got huge minutes in those games. I think they were like 35 to 40 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes, excuse me, from both games. If you want to save some money, obviously you can go with Allie Quigley. Miss Quigley is on my list as one to look at. 6,100. You need about 30 pretty much, or 31. She's averaging 21, so she's actually priced pretty high, but she is playing sufficient minutes, 24, 28, and then she just was beefed up to 35 minutes in the last game, put up 20 solid floor points, 22 fantasy points. Not enough, she didn't fill up the stat sheet in this game. She's not going to do that. She's more of a scorer, and she can hit the threes. She's fairly good with field goal percentage. She's shooting. She's actually one of the top scorers on the team. 16.1 points per game, 2.7 assists, and she's shooting 48% from the floor and 40% from 3. All right, so she's in play. If you want to pay up and try to get 30 from her, I say I'd rather see Diamond DeShields and Gabby Wilson. I think they're just a better value play as opposed to sorry about that, opposed to Miss Quigley. All right, let's move down the list. Odyssey Sims, 6,100, same price as Quigley. Odyssey Sims is playing a little bit better than Quigley at the moment. So I mean, last time they played, she put up a 20 spot. She is averaging 13.1 points, 3.4 assists. She's shooting 3.1 rebounds per game, and she's shooting 43.5% from the floor. At this price, you need about 30. She's averaging 21, almost 22. She did put up a 25, pretty much a 25 spot in the last game against Washington. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather pay all the way up, to be honest, for Gray if I'm going to go with any of the Spark girls. But I think that I'm going to get my guards from the Phoenix and the Vegas game. I'm not going to say that I am not going to fade on all these girls. I think the best one here is definitely Chelsea Gray. So if you want to pay up for her at 7,600, you can do that. I think that she can get you the 37 you need. She may even bust out a 40. She definitely has that ceiling. But I really like Diamond DeShields and Gabby Wilson here. So we go to Diamond DeShields. Diamond DeShields, 4.5K. You need 23. She's averaging 24. So already she got the check mark there next to her name from me. Points, 13.7, one of the tops on the team. I think she's second or third on the team in scoring. 13.7 points, 5.1 rebounds per game, 2 assists. She's shooting 29% from 3 and 39% from the floor at the moment. She did put a measly, pretty bad 10 spot in the last time that she played LA here. As you can see, only 18 minutes. Obviously, they did not play well enough. LA beat them up. I expect them to play a little bit better in this game. They already got she got an opportunity to play against the Spark. Now she's going home. Most teams get up a little bit more in front of their home crowd. So I'm expecting her to have a better game. And as you can see here real quickly, she did have a better game in the last game against Seattle, which is a very, very good team. She played 31 minutes, put 22, 4, 2, 1, and 1. She filled up the stat sheet, especially with scoring, and she put up a 33.8 fantasy points. So she's showing that she definitely has the upside. And she's already priced slightly below what she's actually averaging. So that's not too bad. So I could definitely deal with that. I think she's definitely a fine play. She'll be on my lineups, I can tell you that much. She'll be on, half of my lineups. I have 3 entries here right now. I'll probably be doing 2 more. I normally do 5. So Diamond DeShields is in play. Essence Carson, not a bad play. She's putting up 7.2 points. She's shooting 45% from the floor. She did put a 12 spot against Chicago the last time around. It's just, for me, it's just not enough points. She's getting some floor time, but not enough points. And even the minutes, I would love to see them more over 20. She only got a 5 spot in the last game against Washington. Only played 14 minutes. that leads me obviously to, for $100 more, I'd rather get Diamond DeShields, and for pretty much $1,600 less, I'd rather get Diamond DeShields over Sims. Gabby Wilson in play, as well as Faulkner. At least for me, I think Chicago needs these three girls to play well, as well as Vandersloot and Quigley, because they're going to have to play small. Unfortunately for them, they don't have Dawson playing, and Miss Parker is doing great, but I mean, she's just really taking all the brunt of the work herself, all the dirty work. Gabby Williams, 4.3. You need about 21, and she's averaging 22.4. She put up a 24 spot in the last game, a 22 and a 35. She's been averaging anywhere between, I'd say, 24 to as much as 30, 31 points over the last 4 or 5 games. The minutes are good. She's definitely doing a little bit of everything. Here goes the rebounds and assists. She's definitely a stealer. She definitely plays some defense. I really like her tomorrow here. I mean, I know she didn't have a great game. Chicago didn't have a great game at all against LA the last time in LA, but they are at home. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I believe that I will have some of these girls in my lineup. Miss Faulkner is another one that you could definitely take a look at. 7.9 points. Okay, I didn't tell you Gabby's number. She has 8.1 points, 5.6 rebounds, which is outstanding, 1.7 assists, 1.9 steals. She's shooting 41% from the floor and 33.3% from 3. Now we get the Faulkner. She's averaging 7.9 points, nearly 8 points a game, 4 rebounds a game. She's shooting 36.8% from 3. She had a 22 spot against LA the last time out, and that's obviously because they were getting blown out. They left her on the floor. So you could look at her as a sneaky play, as a sleeper again tomorrow. If this game gets out of hand, Miss Faulkner will probably be in play. LA the last time, 25 minutes, 7, 3, 6, and 1, 22.6 fantasy points. So someone to consider as a value play. Going over to the big girls, we got Candace Parker in line first. I love Candace Parker here in this play. Let's go to the cruncher. 11th seed, the 11th defense against forward centers in the league. They're probably pretty much, that's pretty much at the bottom. Definitely a good matchup for Miss Parker and for Miss Agumake against Chicago. Chicago, unfortunately, only has Cheyenne Parker there. It's really, really going to be tough for her. Ms. Nador is definitely in play as well, but we'll get to that. So Candace Parker, 8,200. You need about 41 from her, and she's averaging 31. But she's played a lot better as of late. I told you I've been waiting for her to get up to those numbers, and she's starting to show it now. 43 here, 27 spot, then bam, another 51. So now she's getting those numbers up. She's getting closer to that price range. She's not quite just yet there because of the, not enough games as of yet. But I know, we all know she's a fine ball player. She's going to get to that point where she's in this price range throughout the whole season, maybe even as high as $9,000. So Candace Parker is in play for me tomorrow. I like her in this matchup. She's averaging 16.7 points, 6 rebounds, 3.7 assists. She's 1 steal a game, 55% from the floor, and 46.7% from 3. She put up a beautiful 43 spot, as you can see here, against Chicago 3 games back. And since then, she's obviously been on fire. She put 33 minutes against Atlanta, only put up 27, but and then she came back and played Washington with a very good front court in Della Don, and put up a 51.9. So I expect her to put a huge number tomorrow. I just hope the game, Chicago competes well enough with their small guards, playing small to the point that they keep the game close enough so that Candace Parker and maybe Miss Agumake will have big games. But I'm favoring Parker tomorrow more than Miss Agumake. Agumake's in play for $200 cheaper if you want her. She lights up, she fills up the stat sheet pretty much everywhere. At 8K, you need about 40. She's averaging 33, so she's not quite there. She's still a little pricey, but she's putting up very good numbers. She's averaging 16.7 points, 7.2 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.7 steals. She's shooting 58% from the floor and 46.2% from 3. She put up a 29 spot in the first meeting against Chicago. So she's definitely in play. 29 is not enough to cover 40. I kind of like Candace Parker better. So I would say definitely, keep your eye on Parker, but I wouldn't say that Ogumake is not someone you should not consider. I just think I'd rather pay $200 more and play her. Cheyenne Parker is definitely in play. I had her the last time she came through for me. I plan to go back to the well with her. She's playing awesome. She needs to step it up. Unfortunately, Dawson is out, so she's taking the brunt of the work, and she's doing what she can up front. 4,600. She only needs about 23, and she's averaging 26. Those numbers are beautiful. She's put up 35 and 33 over the last 2 games, and not even playing over 30 minutes. When she has played over 30 minutes, like she did here, 4 games back against Vegas, she put up a 48 spot, pretty much 49. So Cheyenne Parker is getting it done. She's getting it done. Her numbers: 11.1 points, 7.8 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, shooting 54.9% from the floor, and she put up a 35 spot, as you can see here, against LA the last time out. 17 points, 12 big rebounds, and 2 blocks. She got busy. She's going to need to do the same tomorrow, even though it may be possibly another blowout. But I'm hoping, and I just got a feeling that Chicago's going to play better tomorrow. Chicago's sneakily not that bad, I mean, because they're capable of, with those guards, they're capable. All 4 or 5 of them could go off. Vandersloot, Quigley, DeShields, and Gabby Williams, and Faulkner coming off the bench. I mean, they got 5 decent guards there. Not too many teams can have that. Not too many teams can say that. Let's put it that way. So I really like them there. Other than that, Ms. Nador is definitely in play. 3,000. I mean, she lit up the scoreboard in the last game. So you only need 15 from her. She's averaging 14.8, and then she played 30 minutes in the last game against Seattle and put up 33.9. Now, I know that was a little bit of a torture game too there again. Seattle beat them up as well. So I know that it was more that, but she's going to start. She's been starting, and she's going to get some time on the floor. If she's playing well, they'll keep her on the floor. I think that she's a good bet there for 15. I think she can get you that. She's averaging 7 points and 3.8 rebounds, and she put up a 16 spot in the last game. So she covered the last time. She'll cover again. She may even get more than 16 tomorrow. So I think she's a fine bet. All right. Let's go to game number 2. Real quickly here. Let's pick it up. 163.5 is the totals right now for this game. Phoenix favored by 6.5. Team statistics: Phoenix 4th in the league in scoring with 83 points per game. They're 7th in offensive pace, 79.5. 3rd in defensive pace, 79.4. 10th in rebounds, 31.3. They're 1st in assists with 20.9, pretty much 21 assists per game. They're 7th in steals at 6.4. 2nd in the league in blocks with 5.3. 10th in PPF2 in percentage points from 2, 54 points come out of 2. And they're 4th in PPF3 with 25.9. Vegas 79.7, 7th in the league in scoring. They're 3rd in offensive pace, 83.9. 9th in defensive pace at 82.9. They're 8th in rebounds at 34.1. 4th in assists at 18.9. 8th in steals at 6.4. 4th in the league in blocks with 4.2 a game. PPF2s, they're number 1 still for over a week now. 1st with 65.2. And that's the reason for that is because they cannot shoot the 3, so they're not getting a lot of threes, points from 3. PPF 3, 11.6, that is dead last in the league. All right? So when you think of that, when you look at PPF 2s, you're definitely looking at the best field goal percentage shooting players on the Vegas team. That'll be McBride, Wilson, Miss Young, and Miss Plum. Then when you go over, you see the PPF 3 in Phoenix being 4th best, putting up to almost 26 of their points coming from 3. Then you look at Taurasi, Bonner, January, and Camille Little. Those are their 4 best 3-point shooters. So Phoenix has definitely some nice shooters there. All right, let's go over to the game. We'll look over the guards first. We got Diana Taurasi. All right, they played tonight, and they won. Pretty not a bad night. I actually did fairly well with WNBA tonight. I was pretty much in the 300, the 100 main, and the 5K, pretty much in the top 50 for a while. I don't know where I actually finish. because I was already starting to research some of this stuff for you guys to do the video. But you know, I'm sure I cashed in some of the GPPs. I think the last time I looked, I was like 20th in the 300 one, and I think I was like 18th in the $100 one, and then the 5K one, I think it was like in 200th place or something like that with one of my teams. I think the other one was at 300 or 400. I had like 2 teams in the top like 400. Anyway, all right. So Phoenix, yeah, they play tonight. They're playing a back-to-back. We'll see how well they do tomorrow. I like Vegas tomorrow at home against Phoenix, more so because of the back-to-back. But Phoenix did have some moments in this game where they definitely had some of their star players rest. So they got, you know, the halftime. They got a few minutes late in the fourth quarter. They actually sat the team maybe for the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, 5 minutes, and Connecticut was starting to make a little run, and they decided to put their starters back in. But Taurasi at 7.3K. You need 36. She didn't put up a large number here tonight. She put 28.8. I mean, she didn't put big numbers, meaning as far as points, she didn't put up more than like 20. She put up 19. She had a fairly decent night. I love the fact here now looking at it, she finished with 28.8 fantasy points. That's pretty much 1 fantasy point per minute. She's been really pretty much close to 1 fantasy point per minute steadily, which I think I mentioned before. As far as going into this game, I mentioned it in yesterday's video. Look at this, 45, 35, 36, 36, 36, 25, 28, and then it's pretty much over 1 fantasy point per minute. So, I mean, she's definitely a good play tomorrow. Don't like the fact that she has to try to put up 36 to cover that price, but she has a chance to. That's for sure. She has a chance to. I mean, she is going up against, what we got? She's going up against the 5th best defense against guards, which is not too bad for Las Vegas. They were once, I think, 7th or 8th ranked, and now they've moved up, so they actually have been improving. But Taurasi, back-to-back, you know, I still like her here. I don't know if I'm going to have her in all my lineups. I don't consider her a core, somebody that I must have. But she's not a bad play. She's averaging 19.5 points per game. That's second best in her team. 2.8 rebounds, 4.3 assists. She's shooting 42.3% from the floor and 36% from 3. She put up a 36 spot versus Vegas in their first meeting, so that's pretty good. That's pretty much where she needs to be at tomorrow. So if she can do that, then she's definitely a nice play. So far, everything's looking like that's a possibility. So it's someone to consider if you want to pay up. Dowana Bonner is the next one in line here, 6,400. You need about 32, and she's averaging about 32. So she's definitely has to check under her, next to her name for me, because I like to see that those numbers match up well. She put up 30 fantasy points today in 31 minutes, so pretty much to me that's almost 1 fantasy point per minute, and she's been doing the same here, 26, 25, pretty close. She's been averaging anywhere between 26 and 30 over the last 4 games. She has 2 30 spots over that time frame, and then within the last 8-9 games, she's had 2 40 spots. She's in a favorable matchup again against the top number 5 defense in the league. And like I said yesterday, I'm going to say it again, you know, DFP doesn't necessarily mean I've gone against it several times and I've done well. You know, it's just sometimes just some matchups just look better, you know, going one way than the other. So even though the team might be number 1, they've done well against others, but they haven't quite met with every team in the league yet. And then some teams are just tailor-made depending on speed or shooters or how well they screen, how well they pick and roll. You know, that may be the difference between 2 other guards lighting it up against a team that's considered a good defensive guarding team. You know, that guards the position well. So don't, you know, we can't always go by it, but it's definitely one statistical thing that you should always look at so you can get a gauge. Okay. So again, Ms. Bonner is in play. I like Ms. Young here. I like the Vegas guards in this game, just because of price and just because of the fact that, you know, the Suns are Phoenix. Excuse me, I think of the Suns. The Phoenix Mercury are coming off a back-to-back. So Ms. Young is in play for me, 5,100. She's averaging 9.6 points, 4.3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1 steal a game, shooting 36%. I would love to see that go up a little bit more. She has been playing a lot better over the last 4 or 5 games. As you can see, there was a point here where she started off really, really well, anywhere between 23 to 28 fantasy points. Then she had a little dip here for 4 games, but in the last 3 games, she's playing well again. She's getting sufficient minutes. She needs 25, pretty much 26. She's averaging nearly 21. And she's had, going back to her, she had a 34, so she's been close to that 24, 25 that she needs. And she's facing Phoenix. Phoenix is 7th overall, so they actually are facing a team that, you know, it's in the middle of the pack of the league as far as guarding the guards. So not a bad spot for her to be in. Let's see what she did, because I do not have it on me right now. Where is she? Miss Young. Let's take a look at when she played Phoenix. She played Phoenix here. She only put up 6.1 fantasy points, so a terrible game for her. With 23 minutes, she was not productive. More than likely, the game was a blowout, or she was just not aggressive, did not get involved in the offense here. I don't recall exactly what happened here, but I still like her going into tomorrow. It could be a bounce-back game for her against Phoenix. I'm not on Lindsey Allen. I'm going right over to Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride in play for me. Definitely love Kayla McBride here. 4,500. You need about 23 from her. She's averaging 25, so definitely that check mark is right next to her. And she has been playing really, really well lately. 33 and 33. 33 minutes, 33 fantasy points in the last game against Dallas. She had a 25, 28, 26, 25. She's pretty much a good cash play for 25 or better. But I definitely like her here in a GPP as well as a cash. Kayla McBride tomorrow. She's averaging 15.8 points, 3.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1 steal. So she's in pretty much 4 categories. She's shooting 44, almost 45% from the floor, and 41% from 3. When she last played against Phoenix, she put up a 26 in 34 minutes. I think she's going to put up better numbers tomorrow at home in front of that Vegas crowd. I think she's going to put up close to 30 tomorrow. I like her here. I think she's a great play at 4,500. Let's move on. Brianna January, I had her tonight. She played very well for me for Phoenix. 4.3. She is, you need about 21 to cover that. She's averaging 16, so she's a little below that. She's putting up 6.8 points per game, 4.5 assists. So she's a shooter. She can score a little bit. She does get past the ball. Field goal percentage 37%, a little low, but she's shooting great from 3 at 53.3%. She did put up a 15 spot against Vegas the first time around. We'll take a look at that real quickly here. And there it is right there. She played 30 minutes. She got 15, so that's pretty low for 30 minutes. I would love to see her put up a little bit more than that. If she could get up to 20 to 22 fantasy points there, it will be great. She needs 21, 22. Back-to-back game. I mean, she played, I think, what did she play tonight? She played 23 minutes. Yes, I mean, you know, she got quite a bit of rest. She could possibly play 23 minutes again tonight. Kelsey Bloom in play, 4,200. I kind of like her here in this spot better than January, to be honest with you, in this matchup. 4.2K, you need 21. I mean, obviously it shows here she's showing only 12, but she has been shooting a lot better as of late. Okay, 26 minutes and 25 and 29. 3 out of the last 4 games over 25 minutes. She got a 27 spot and a 23 here. She had those 2 duds in the middle. The last time she played Phoenix, she put up a 27, so she was one of the better shooters that day. I think that she's in a good spot again tomorrow. All right, as we all know, Phoenix, we already looked. They're 7th overall against guards. Ms. Bloom is at 5.8 points, 3 assists a game, shooting 37% from the floor and 36% from 3. So not too shabby. She's a little balanced everywhere. All right, I'm not on anybody else here. We're going to go right over to the forwards. When we're looking at the big girls, I mean, Brittany Griner stands out, of course, 8,600. You need about 43. She's averaging 40. She put up 30 only tonight in 27 minutes. So she didn't have to play over 30 minutes. They utilized her well because they had a nice lead today. She will play more minutes tomorrow. The last time she played Vegas, she put 33 minutes up. She put 19, 15, and she lit up the best game of the year for her at 64. I am definitely on her again tonight. And I would not be even shying away from Aja Wilson, who's going to want to come back and play even better than she did the last time. But Brittany Griner, numbers are awesome. 20 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2.8 blocks. She's shooting 58% from the floor. Outstanding. And yes, you already seen in the first matchup she put up a 64 spot. So it was a big game for her. I don't expect her to put 64 again tomorrow. She may get 50. And I think Aja is going to do better than she did the last time. If you want to save some money, then go down $800 and take Miss Wilson. #1 overall draft pick. She's been playing like a #1 overall draft pick. 7,800. For her, you need about 38 to cover that, and she's putting up 37. And the last time she played Phoenix, she put up 28. I expect her to put more than 35 tomorrow. And she will play around the same amount of minutes, anywhere between 30 to 35 minutes. She'll more than likely play tomorrow, especially if this game stays a little close, and I think it will. They have Phoenix favored by 6.5. I think this game is going to stay fairly close, especially if McBride and Young play well and Miss Wilson can get off early in this game. This game could be fairly close. I like the Aces. I like that young team. Let's move on. Miss Aja Wilson, 20.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.5 blocks, shooting 45.8% from the floor. 28 spot, as you saw, in 33 minutes against Phoenix the first time around. I project her to put up at least a 30 to 35 spot tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gets more than that. It could be a possible crazy shootout. Who knows? Anything can happen in the WNBA. From what I've seen thus far this year, it's like so up and down. I haven't gotten a really good gauge. Tonight I did fairly well. The last 2 nights I didn't do too well. So hopefully I get a little streak going here. Next we have Sancho Little. Miss Little is in play, 4.6K. You need about 23. She's averaging pretty much 21. Tonight, she only played 17 minutes, but look at these numbers, 31.3. I had her in 2 of my lineups, and one of those lineups, obviously, like I said, I had her in most of my lineups. The lineups that I did cash in, I'm sure she was a part of those lineups. If this game was a little bit closer, she would have lit me up for even more. I probably would have moved up even more in the standings in today's GPPs, simply because she only played 17 minutes, because they had a larger lead, and they figured, hey, you know what, let's sit her. You got another game tomorrow. So that is beautiful to see here, because that means that she's definitely in play for me going again tonight. She's averaging 8.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.1 steals. She only put a 12 spot in the last game, as you can see here. Only played 17 minutes in that game. And it was obviously because the game was a little out of hand. But I expect the game to be a little bit tighter. I expect the game to be a little bit more competitive, especially because they're playing in Vegas. And I like Miss Little there. Miss Coffey, not yet as far as time, is not coming in. She's going to probably be a big part of this team as we go further into the season. Right now, she's just not getting sufficient minutes. Hamby, Derica, I'm not on her tomorrow. I mean, she'll probably go and light it up for 20-25. You know, sometimes I take her, sometimes I don't. She's too up and down with the minutes and with the scoring. I rather play Miss Park, 3,700. She's moving up slowly but surely. She's been starting at center. 3.6 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists. She's shooting 39% pretty much from the floor. She had a 20 spot against Phoenix the first time around, right here, in 21 minutes. So that's fantastic. She did what she needed to. She decided to rebound, and that definitely helped against Ms. Griner. So I expect her to do the same. I think she's a good play tomorrow. She's good. She's a good cash play. She's definitely averaging more than 15 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games. And then now her minutes have been increasing slowly but surely from 23 to 24. So anything goes tomorrow. With Phoenix coming off a back-to-back, you can look for Miss Parker to get some nice time here And if they can keep this game close, she'll be able to give you. I wouldn't be surprised she gets 20 to 22, 23 fantasy points tomorrow. I like her. If I could squeeze in a couple of nice studs and I could squeeze her in that forward spot at 3,700, I think she could get me my 17. I'll probably be taking her. I'm not on anybody else. That's pretty much it. I mean, you know, that's pretty much it. I'm not on anybody else. Camille Little may be someone to consider, 3,300. You know, she's averaging 4.3 points, 1.3 assists, 35% from the floor, and shooting about close to 27% from three. She's not too good from there, but she's not a bad, you know, she's not a bad player. She played some minutes tonight, 19. Again, because of the, you know, the team, you know, having a big lead. Obviously, they're gonna put her on the floor. If it happens again tomorrow, then you'll see a little bit of time. It's just hard to gauge how Phoenix is gonna play tomorrow after a back-to-back, but we'll see. We'll see if Miss Little gets a little bit more time. All right. So that's pretty much where we at, guys. Let me just give you a couple. So again, top scoring. So when we look at the slate, like I've been telling you, I break it down. Well, I narrowed them even closer for you guys. So I gave you all the team stats. I gave you the players' statistics. Now overall, as far as top scoring teams in this actual slate, you got the 4th best scoring team in Phoenix and LA Sparks, 6th best team in this slate. So you can actually gauge yourself to start designing your lineups with maybe looking at those scorers from those two teams. When you look at rebounding, you're looking at Chicago is 7th in the league and Las Vegas is 8th in the league, and they're both on the slate, and they're the best 2 rebounding teams in the slate because the other 2 teams are really, really poor. So now you're looking at, for Vegas, you're looking at Wilson, Park, and Young and McBride were the top best rebounders on that team, and for Chicago is DeShields, Gabby Williams, and Miss Cheyenne Parker. Now when you go over to assists, there's 2 teams there. You got Phoenix, who's number 1 in the league with 20 a game, and you got Vegas 4th in the league with 18 a game. So now you can target Taurasi, Bonner, and January as the best assist players there, and they fall into the same category as girls that are in scoring, that score fairly well and possibly even are good defenders in steal. Now you start narrowing down. Now you start really putting your list together of what, you know, what players you can target towards the end. Las Vegas, you got McBride, Young, and Plum. Then you got the steals, LA Sparks, 2nd best in the league, and they're the only one in this whole slate that are pretty good defending as far as getting steals are concerned. So then you gauge now Bonner for Phoenix, assuming it's Phoenix and LA, LA being the best one. Bonner for Phoenix is their best defender there with steals, and then you got Gray and Agumake for LA. All right, so that's where everything falls in. Blocks, Phoenix and Las Vegas are the top 2 in this slate. Phoenix is 2nd actually in the league with 5.3 per game, and Vegas is 4th in the league with 4.2 blocks per game. So now you're looking at Griner and Wilson automatically off the top, and then now those girls fall into the same category as top scorers. They also fall into the category as rebounders, and by the time we know, now you got your 3, your 4 tool players, you know, 5 tool players. You can just gauge it according to where they fall in the slate. I've been giving you guys my favorite FPPM plays for guards and forwards for each slate. For this particular slate, guards, fantasy points per minute, Bonner 1.01 fantasy points per minute is the top guard on my list that I like. She's also the top guard as far as FPPMs, and she's also has a ceiling of 40 plus. You got DeShields at 0.97, nearly 1 fantasy point per minute, and she has a 35 plus upside. You got Vandersloot at 0.93 fantasy points per minute, and she has a 45 plus upside. And then you got Miss Taurasi at 0.92 with a 40 point upside. So those are the 4 I like out of my players that I'm looking at that have good fantasy points per minute plays for today. When you look at the forwards, Miss Parker, Candace Parker, 1.23 with a 50 point upside. She's the best one to play. You got Miss Wilson for Vegas at 1.22 with a 45 plus upside. You got Griner at 1.18 with a 50 plus upside. You got Miss Agumake with 1.11 with a 45 point upside. And you got Miss Cheyenne Parker with 1 fantasy point per minute right on the nose with 35 plus upside. Value plays for today for guards, Faulkner, keep your eye on Faulkner at 3.7K. You need about 17 for her. If this game gets out of hand, she'll probably get a little bit more light for Chicago. Then you got Miss Plum, Kelsey, 4.2K is my second value play for guards. When you go to the forwards, value play here, definitely like the lower end here. You got Miss Nador at 3,000. You only need 15, so she's definitely in play. Camille Little could be a possibility at 3.3K. You need about 14 or 15, and Miss Lavender also the same thing, same price range. And then you got Miss Park, which I think is the best play here at 3,700, who actually is playing and starting, and is going to be possibly needed, especially against a Phoenix team that has just played from a back-to-back. This may be an advantage for Miss Parker, Cheyenne Parker, as well as Miss Miss Park, as well as Miss Asia Wilson tomorrow against Phoenix. All right, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it, guys, man. So again, man, get those lineups going, man. It's kind of late. It's already 2 a.m. New York time, and I got to get some rest. Tomorrow's Father's Day, and again, man, I wish all the fathers out there the very best. Hope you guys win as well tomorrow. Hopefully a bunch of you are playing some WNBA. I don't think there's any WNBA games on the schedule for Monday, so you'll see the next video on Tuesday. For those who play MLB, chances are I will be doing an MLB video for Monday. Hopefully it's not a 10 or 12 or 15 game slate. If it is, I might not do it, but I mean, if it's anywhere in the range of 6 to 8 games, there's a possibility I might do a MLB video for you guys on Monday. All right. Again, drop a like on the video. If you think this is helpful to anyone you may know, please share the video. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'll do what I can to give you the best possible information. This is what I actually do. This is not any BS. This is actually what I do with blank Xerox paper every darn day. But I've been working on a formula spreadsheet to be able to, I've been working on it for a couple of months, and I'm going to continue to do that until I nail it down and really put everything that I want to find in place, and hopefully I can be able to do my own projections. So that's what I plan to do. So I'm working on it slowly but surely, but these are some of the things that I really target and I narrow down my plays. So again, man, good luck tomorrow. Put some good lineups together. If you have any comments, you want to ask me any questions, you can do that. Comment down below, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help out. There's people that reach out to me on Instagram as well, which is pretty cool, and I do everything I can to just look over what they're planning to put out there for the night as far as a lineup, and if I feel that they need to change something, I basically let them know, and if I think it's an okay, I say, hey, you know what, the lineup looks good, I can go with that, go right ahead and shoot for it, and that's that. But I'm here to help out any way I can. All right, guys, so drop a like, subscribe down below, and again, man, happy Father's Day to all you guys out there, and good luck with any lineups on Father's Day. Maybe we all make a little bit of money tomorrow. And that's basically it, man. God bless. Have a good night. Bye.